Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia, actually in Kamloops. So welcome to my YouTube or my Facebook. I'm really glad that you're joining me. This is today what I do is I do a live every Tuesday on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel, and it's my Technique Tuesday. I've been doing this for over 2 years now. I'm actually on episode number 103. So today is we're doing a technique, and it's kind of a vintage technique. It's a combination of a lot of different things, but I'm calling it part one because there's an awful lot of different things that you can do to make your cards look vintage. And what I'm doing, like I say, is I'm going to show you probably one of the easiest ways to make it go vintage. So if you're watching this on a live and you don't like it when I talk with different people, just watch it on the replay and then you can go scoot on by as we go through. Awesome. So let's go on down to my desktop. Who likes techniques? Hello, Felicia. Hello, Judy. Who likes techniques? I love techniques. Techniques really, you can do so many different things with different techniques, and sometimes you can just use a tiny little bit, just a tiny little bit, and put it into a card, and it kind of makes it look totally different as you go along. All right. So, like I say, there are so many different techniques to give that vintage look. And this is just one of them that's going to and we're going to kind of work together on some of them. The easiest way sometimes to make vintage is to use neutral colors. And that's kind of what we're focusing on today, neutral colors with some color. How's that? So like I say, there's a lot of different ways to do this. I actually wrote this up totally different. So this one I might be using as next week's, and I'll rewrite this one for tomorrow. Now, remember, part of the group, and it's a Stamping with Diane Stampers group. This technique that we're doing today will be posted in the group under the file section. You'll have a picture of the card that we do today. You'll have all the measurements for this particular card, and if there's different product that you use to make this card. All right, so I thought I'd use the Countryside Birdhouse. This is really an amazing bundle. You think I'm the queen of techniques? Well, I don't know. But thank you. That's very, very kind of you. So on this particular one, I just want to tell you it's free shipping today. And this is also part of my stamp camp. And in order to qualify for the stamp camp, you need to spend, I think it's $109 or something like that before shipping and taxes, or before taxes, actually, in today's case for sure. And you will be able to participate in a stamp camp. And it's an international stamp camp. It includes 13 other demonstrators from around the world. You'll get 13 make and takes and an additional 13 alternative projects. And if you watch my blog, or if you watched on my group and that sort of stuff, you will see one of my alternative projects. And actually, I'll show you that right now. And it's a 3D box that actually it holds 3. It could probably hold 4 Lindt chocolates in there. So that's part of what I'm going to be doing, showing how to make that, because I didn't show anywhere else. All right. So we're going to be using this. Like I say, it's part of the stamp camp. Today's the perfect day with free shipping. Shipping orders in Canada over $100. I'm not sure what they are in the other markets that are there. Hello, Claire. All right. So let's get going on this. I love these dies. They have so many different dies that cut out the birdhouse, the different flowers, and then there's separate flowers that go there as well. This is a real big key to doing vintage, and that's splatters. So I'm actually going to take that particular one out, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to splatter that up. We're going to use something and we're going to splatter with it. Oh my goodness, that is one dirty block. I'm going to just put that on there and grab another block here. all my blocks need to go through the dishwasher, that's for sure. I actually, what I do with my blocks is I'll clean them with rubbing alcohol, and then I'll put them through the dishwasher. Okay, so let's get going on this. Now, one way to do an awful lot of a vintage sort of type feel to the card is picking the paper that does look vintage. So I actually have a piece. This is Pool Party, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So let's just go in there. Now, this does not look very vintage. It looks too clean for me. So I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to try a different color than what I normally would. I would normally come in with crumb cake on this, but I want to use this because these colors kind of go with gray. So I want to come in and I'm just going to see how this is going to look onto this cardstock. And we're just going to vintage it up and distress it. I don't think this is a shabby chic, but this is definitely, I'm vintaging this particular card up. So I just want to make sure that I've got some color on here that's a little bit different. Okay, so right away it's now starting to look, I always call vintage a dirty sort of look on there. Now, I know I would use words on different things. A collage can be a vintage look too, but we'll hit some of those other techniques as we go along. Now, on this particular card, I'm going to see this paper. It already looks vintage as it is. Like, we're not doing a pretty vintage. We're going to do more of just a vintage with this. So what we're going to do is we want to come in here, and I'm going to take my memento, and I'm going to stamp this birdhouse on this piece of paper. And that's why I kind of went to the Pool Party background. And you can see there is a gray on there. Now, remember, this is a gray granite, but there's also a bit of crumb cake on there, and we can mix and match a bunch of those different colors, that's for sure. So we're just going to stamp that, and then we're just going to cut it out. So I've gone ahead and I've cut it out. And now I also want to go and I want to add some of this gray on here because it's all about making it look old, right? What did they say? Vintage is 50 years old. I'm not sure. I know an antique is longer than that. Weathered, yes. Yes, we could say this is a weathered vintage, that sort of stuff, but you'll start seeing it where it's going to come together a little bit more. Now, also on some of these dies here, there's some different pieces on here. This is another piece that will cut out this part up here. This cuts out the scallops, and then there's this piece here as well. So I'm not only going to be using gray with this, I'm going to be using a lot of different ones here. So this is the piece of paper that I decided to put on the back. And of course, now we need to make this look more, and as Felicia said, weathered. I really like how she said that. Maybe we should change this to the weathering technique. You know what? I just might. Good plan. But we're definitely, you know what? I don't need to do, this isn't what I wanted to do. I will show you what I wanted to do. One of the easiest ways to make it look vintage or weathered or anything like that is to use your embossing folders. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to use an embossing folder. And the one we're going to use is probably the most logical to use with this. I like that, Felicia. We're going to call this the weathered technique. How's that? So I'm going to come in here and I want to run this through the embossing folder. But another thing that I do want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to put some ink, whoops, we're going to turn it this way, onto the brayer. And we're going to actually color this up. And this is going to add quite a bit of weathering. So I'm just going to come, and like I say, this is gray granite. And everyone knows, or most people know, that I really do prefer the gray granite to the smoky slate. But because it's just a different sort of color. So I have to bring this one in here. And I have to bring in my big cut and emboss machine. We're going to use plate number 1. We're going to put this through here. I'm just putting that on there, and I'm turning it so that the fold goes through the cut and emboss machine. And then we're using number 4 because it's a thick 3D embossing folder, and then I'm just going to run it through. And let's see how that works. So let's do this. And see, this is just giving us a tiny bit, and it's just added a tiny bit of the color with it. If I'd done the smoky slate, it probably would have been lighter. But you know what? I want it just a bit more. So let's just come and do this. Now, another thing we could do is sand this. And we are making it look old. So I'm just going to come in with a bit of a sanding. We're not going to do it all over. I've got my really good sander upstairs. But see how we're just making it. We're not sanding all of it. But this will be fun because this background just goes like that. And then what we also want to do is we want to come with our scissors. Now, there are distressing tools. The scissors are probably one of the best that we have. So we're going to just... And it's okay if we rip it, right? This wood's been around for a long time. Just like that. And see why that was important on the front of that card is to make sure that we had. So I'm just going to, I could do it also with my nail. And of course we have wood on the back there, so that'll work out okay. And then, like I say, oops, this doesn't look like it's quite straight. So I'm just going to come in, and I'm just going to come in with my bone folder. Yeah, I always say to somebody, always find something when other people are looking, or you're looking for something else, right? And this morning I spent hours looking for something and I just found it. So we're just going to line that up, and then I'm just going to come in. So if you don't get that scored quite right, you can always go in and fix it. There we go. All right, so see how this is just going to go onto here. And we're also going to go, and I think at this point, this is where we're going to put some twine on here as well. So I really like this linen thread. I think it really helps with something like this. So I'm just actually going to come around here. And you know what? Normally I wouldn't put this on here like this, just because it would rip the paper. But I'm okay with this paper ripping, right? Because that's just going to add to it just a bit more. And we'll just tie it in a knot, and then we'll trim it. All right, let's just go in there. There we go. And you know what? I can probably take some of that and put that behind the birdhouse and it'll be okay. All right. Making a bit of a mess on this desk here. All right, so we're just going to come in and put some glue on. Yeah, so free shipping. Oh my goodness. We haven't had free shipping since December, so it's a really good time. I needed to get some more in colors, so did that. All right, so I've gone ahead and cut this one out. And like I say, we played with it. And I'm actually, this has got quite a long tassel on here. So I'm actually going to use that to put some more loops behind it. But this piece here looks quite weathered. So I've got a bunch of these pieces already done on here. So we could put this here. I've got a bunch of them, so I can decide which way I want to go on it. Do I want, if I want this on here, you know what? I would really like to run that through that embossing folder. But there's another way that I can do this. There's a really neat stamp on, and you know what? I'm going to come in with this. I know the stamp is retired, or the stamp pad is retired. But see this here? This right there, I'm going to come in and I'm going to use that gray granite and I'm going to just go put some of that on there. I'm also going to put some of that on this, all these pieces here, and we'll see which ones I'm going to use. So we have this, excuse me. Oh, I did cut a circle. I found these circles that went with this particular one on this birdhouse was too small. So I used the smallest stylish shape and I put that one there. I think we'll have that go up and down. Do I want that there? Now, this is too clean. So let's go and get some more colors on there. But you guys are very, very quiet today. So I don't think I'm going to be doing my sketch this Saturday unless I do it from the retreat. I have my 3-day retreat this weekend. And I'll share, maybe what I'll do is just go live and just share what we're doing at the retreat at that point. That would be fun. I know I've been frantically getting ready, trying to get ready for that. You know what? I might even just put this one on there. Do I want to do that or do I want to put this one on there? Let's see. Hello, Laura. You know what? I think I'll put this on there, but I want to pop it up. So I'm going to come in with little dimensionals. And just going to pop that up. Like I say, what a great time if you were contemplating about this stamp camp to get in on it with the free shipping, because you need to purchase the bundle and some other product, because we use all that product in our in the stamp camp. Some of us do varying ones. After tomorrow, you'll be able to see a sneak peek of the make and takes, just the sneak peek of what's, you can't really see too much in there. Okay, so let's put that on there. And then we'll put this on there. We just want this to look old, right? Well, it kind of just gives, it kind of pops it up a little bit, right? So let's go ahead and put that on there. And then I do have, this is I'm actually going to go put that on there. And this happens to be Early Espresso. And these are all dies that are from this fantastic set. You know, it's funny. Some people were saying, oh, I don't know if I like that birdhouse thing, because how many cards can you have with birdhouses on them? And it's funny because in this, for our make and takes, a lot of us didn't use the birdhouse. I know I didn't. There we go. Now, do I want to put this one on here? Or do I want to put the brown on there? I do have some brown. You know what? I don't know. I like this. I'm going to come in and let's get some of this gray on here. So Felicia, because of you, I am changing the name of this technique. Okay, you think brown? Okay, well, we'll put brown on there. That's fine. It's kind of a gray brown, actually. It's what it kind of looks like now. Let's come and put those on. I keep saying I'm not going to pack up my stuff for this retreat, but I keep remembering stuff and putting it aside, and then all of a sudden I need it for this. This is a very, very old birdhouse. It's been made of wood that's just lying around, is what the thought process is. See, and I've got these other pieces that I could use with another one. Whoops, there we go. Yep, you made me change my mind. I love it. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And like I say, I kind of want this to loop-de-loo and whatever around here. So with it like that, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Oops, let me just put that. I just want that, hold that down there. And I need bigger dimensionals, so I'm just grabbing my bigger dimensionals. And we are going to, I'm going to put one right there. There we go. And then this one's going to go down here. I'm going to come in with another dimensional. Oops, this is crooked. And see, this is just going to come up like that. This one can go over top of that. Okay, anyways, so now we're going to have to put our dimensionals on there in other spots. This is a nice wood too on there. This wood is amazing. I think this is my favorite. I've got to tell you a funny story. We were sitting there in this restaurant in Mexico at the resort that we were at, and they had this design underneath the bar. It was really cool. And it's funny how many people, hello Sandra, you're currently packing for the retreat. Yes, I know Kathy got hers done today, and Laura was working on hers. And okay, so this is just going to go here. You know, we could have roughed this up a little bit too, the birdhouse, but we're just going to leave that like that. And the other thing is, remember these splotches? I'm just going to come in. Let's put some of those splotches on this birdhouse. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is so fun. And we have an inside. Oh, we're going to have to get that weathered too, aren't we? Let's see. There we go. So we have that. Now we also need a bird. So here's the bird here, and I've actually gone ahead and stamped it and cut it out. And it's going to go here, but we also have to, we've got to weather this bird up. So I want to use some crumb cake, but I'm also going to use some of that gray granite on it. And some Pool Party. I really like how Pool Party and the crumb cake lend itself to being how it turns out. There we go. And then let's just go ahead and get some more Pool Party. And I'm going to put some of that Pool Party, like I say, I'm going to put a tiny bit more of the crumb cake on there. When you're doing something like this, you just got to keep on. You know, I'm not going to make the beak orange or the legs. I'm going to go like that. And then I'm coming in with that gray granite again. And let's just, and I'm going to come back in, believe it or not, and I'm going to splotch this up. There we go. Now, this also has to have the inside has to be done. So let's just do that with the, and you know, I know some people are going to say, why are you going to do this? But I'm going to just stress those edges as well. I want it to be, to carry into the inside of the card. Now, we also have to figure out what we're going to do. For the sentiment. Do we want a happy birthday? What are the other sentiments? Hoping you have the best day ever. That would be kind of a fun one. Hello, friend. Or we could just go with, you know, do you have people that like birds? Like, no, I'm just going to go back in and get a bit of that gray on that part that you notice I didn't do it as much as I did on the front. So that's just going to go. See how that carries over? And you know what? I have to do the inside of this as well. We probably should do the front and the back. Well, we're going to. All right. Okay. Let's put that on the inside. And you know what? There's some really neat gems. And not the, well, maybe the gray ones will go because I've been using a lot of gray on this. Let's see. So let's put this bird here. And now we have to figure out where we want to put this. Do we want hoping you to have the best day ever? Let's see if that's going to go on there. Or is the birthday one the best to do on here? Ooh, that's kind of big. You know what? I'm going to do happy birthday. I think that'll work quite well. So, and I know, like I say, I know this is a retired block, but it just fits some of those just so perfectly. And then what are we going to do this on? A Pool Party would be the best, I think. So we'll come and grab some. And we'll come in with our trimmer. And this is only 1/4 of an inch that you need for this. And that's why I say I think that would be the best size for that. And we have to clean. And then I think I'm going to use Memento. So, because we want that birthday to show up. We could have also used early espresso. That might have been the better color. But I don't think you're going to notice that. Okay, so this is going to go on there. This part is just going to go on here as well. And happy birthday goes right down there. We'll have that go over there. Okay, so just a bit. I'm not going to pop that up because I've already got this popped up. Like so. We're going to pop up our bird though. And then let's just go ahead and put this right there. Now, what goes with this whole suite are these pearls. And these are smoky slate and see. You know what? I'm going to use the darker ones. And one more big one. And we're just going to put that right up there. So there's our vintage weathered look card. So just like that. So tomorrow it will be put, this will be put onto the Stampin' with Diane Stampers group. So hopefully you like that. Oh, good. I'm glad because it's kind of a fun sort of thing to, yeah. Anyways. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Remember to give me the thumbs up if you like that. Share my video. I really do appreciate it. And another thing, looks like it's hanging in front of a barn. Yes, it's, well, it's made from barn wood, right? So that's what we're going to do. Awesome. Thank you so much. In any event, remember, if you're interested in this birdhouse thing, that today is free shipping. So you get to save that 10% on there for the stamp camp. So if you do live in Canada or if you live outside of Canada, just reach out to me and I can put you in touch with a demonstrator in your area. What else? Remember about the signing, the starting kit. Amazing kit with the new in colors. And don't forget, if you do live in Canada and need a demonstrator, I'd love to work with you. And tomorrow is Mystery Wednesday. I'll be posting the clues at noon. Hopefully it goes on to my Facebook group, but sometimes it's just not. It's a weird thing that's happening lately. And I hate to use that as an excuse, but I should be back tomorrow to do that in time. I have a lot of shopping to do for the retreat. So awesome, you guys. Remember, thank you so much for sharing. Remember to create because it's great for the soul. And we will see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific time. Bye for now.